GMB hit with complaints as viewers fume over Ed Balls and Susanna Reid shake-up. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Good Morning Britain presenters Ed Balls and Susanna Reid headed to Washington, D.C. to cover the US election. Good Morning Britain viewers issued the same complaint as the ITV show underwent a major shake-up. Tuesday's installment, November 5, of GMB saw presenters Ed Balls and Susanna Reid swap the ITV studio for Washington, D.C. to cover the US election. While their co-stars were in the US, Richard Madeley and Kate Garraway stepped in to share the latest headlines with viewers across the UK. Ed, 57, and Susanna, 53, are bringing GMB viewers exclusive coverage of the momentous election. With Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump in the running for president. The duo will be in Washington, D.C. until Wednesday, hosting the election results program in the morning. However, viewers questioned why the presenters needed to cover the election from the US Capitol as they shared their thoughts on social media. Taking to X, one wrote, "There's not even one thing that Reid and Bowles will be to say or to demonstrate in Washington that couldn't have been done better in GMB's London studio." Another agreed. "Why is it necessary for Reid and Bowles to be standing in the Walmart car park in Washington?" As a third declared, "So this exclusive report from two #GM reporters flown out to Washington, D.C. is a big, fat, pointless waste." Another viewer added, "Poor Susanna Reid and Ed Balls stuck in Washington, D.C., looking like a couple of budgies sitting on a spa with nothing to report and having to fill the airtime with meaningless chit-chat." A fifth baffled fan penned, "Why the f*** does Susanna have to go to Washington tomorrow? They do have reporters there already." Ed said, "Susanna, grab your bags, we're about to go." Susanna quipped, "Tune into Good Morning Britain tomorrow live from Washington." Speaking to Radio Times, Susanna said, "Ed Balls and I are flying straight out to Washington, D.C. after hosting Good Morning Britain on Monday 4 November. We'll be soaking up the atmosphere. Then we'll be on the ground, presenting the election results program on the Wednesday morning." The mum of three added, "It'll be one of those weeks where sleep takes a backseat. There are some stories where the adrenaline and cortisone just stream through your body." Today, we're diving into the latest shake-up on Good Morning Britain that has left viewers buzzing with complaints. The popular ITV presenters Ed Balls and Susanna Reid recently swapped their London studio for Washington, D.C., all in a bid to deliver live, on-the-ground coverage of the US election. But while some might think the move was meant to add excitement, it's clear not everyone was thrilled by the decision. On Tuesday, November 5, GMB viewers tuned in to see Ed, 57, and Susanna, 53, reporting live from Washington, covering the nail-biting election as Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris went head-to-head with Republican candidate Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Richard Madeley and Kate Garraway took over the studio duties back in the UK. Although the intention was to provide exclusive, immersive content, the audience didn't all see the need for the hosts to be stateside, and they took to social media to share their frustrations. One Twitter user wrote, "There's not even one thing that Reid and Bowles will be able to say or demonstrate in Washington that couldn't have been done better from GMB's London studio." Another viewer was even more baffled by the change of scenery, sarcastically asking, "Why is it necessary for Reid and Bowles to be standing in the Walmart car park in Washington?" It didn't stop there. Another fan chimed in, calling the trip a big, fat, pointless waste. Many felt the need for the presenters to jet across the Atlantic was unnecessary, especially since ITV has reporters stationed in the US already. Poor Susanna Reid and Ed Balls stuck in Washington, D.C., looking like a couple of budgies sitting on a spa. Another tweet read, referring to their sparse location and lack of real-time action. The backlash seemed to focus on the sense that the production expenses of sending two prominent hosts to the US Capitol could have been better spent elsewhere. In response, Susanna defended the decision, emphasizing the unique energy of covering such a historic election from within Washington's charged atmosphere. Speaking to Radio Times, she explained, Ed Balls and I are flying straight out to Washington, D.C. after hosting Good Morning Britain on Monday. We'll be soaking up the atmosphere, and then we'll be on the ground, presenting the election results program on the Wednesday morning. The veteran presenter acknowledged the exhausting schedule ahead, saying it would be a week where sleep takes a backseat as adrenaline keeps them going. Whether viewers agree with the approach or not, Susanna and Ed are set to complete their Washington assignment, bringing the US election coverage to British screens with an up-close perspective. So, what do you think? Is it worth the trip, or could GMB have stuck to London for a more efficient broadcast? Let me know in the comments.